Vince Russo has, in my book and in John's book, has been officially vindicated. And you could take David Arquette, you could take Viagra, you could take Viagra on a pole, you could take all the crazy random title changes. Again, David Arquette, I'll just throw that one back out there. And in the famous words of the franchise, and they can all kiss Vince Russo's ass, because the biggest shit ever taken in the wrestling business happened on Sunday when they put the tag team championship belt on a child picked out of the crowd in a tag team title match that was literally it was the lead into the main event. And this match with Braun Strowman, and you said it on this show, you know, if they're going to put him in a chicken suit, they're going to give him the big bass fiddle, they're going to do all this stuff, they're going to castrate this guy and have him pick a kid out of the crowd as his mystery partner and win the tag team championship. I mean, to take a crap on anybody who's ever held those championship belts and the work that especially those guys on the pre-show that were wrestling at 5 o'clock in the afternoon had to watch this kid win the World Tag Team Championship. Shane, I've been dying to hear what you have to say about it. What do you think? I mean, this is like, to me, I think it's just a big insult and an albatross on wrestling.
Well, my understanding, again, from the guys that went in my entourage, that they were saying that the audience sort of died after that it sort of like, you could feel the energy, like, leave the room. Look, we've heard for 18 years, right? Vince Russo is the worst thing ever to wrestling because he put a belt on David Arquette. Well, as much as I disagree with that decision, that was better than putting a belt on a 10-year-old kid. You know, better. My thought, as soon as I heard this, was, what about Cesaro and Sheamus? That they got to go out and do a job to one guy that's got a 10-year-old kid as his sidekick. You know, the only way that could have worked, and this may sound terrible, but if you think it through, the only way that could have worked is if they had, you know, a kid that was a Make-A-Wish kid or a kid that had been sick or something, and then you bring him in and do something like that. I think it would have popped the crowd. Still would have been abhorred by wrestling purists, but at least then you could have seen some, you know, some light at the end of the tunnel with it. But again, we've seen, like you've mentioned in the way you led into this, Vince Russo has been vilified for 18 years over the David Arquette thing, and now we have this. You know, but to be fair, let's throw some other stuff in here from the WrestleMania weekend. There was a show that shall go unnamed. You could find it, I'm sure, if you look, where they had the Invisible Man come out and win a battle royal. And, like, again, I go back to Bill Watts. You know, and I asked Bill Watts specifically about that. And his mouth dropped open when I said it. You know, to me, it just reeks that it seems that nobody has respect for the industry or their own work in the industry anymore. Let's just go out and, like, what's next? Shane Douglas shoots laser beams out of his eyes. I fly around the ring and flip out talons and slash somebody to death. I mean, where does it end? If everything is just a spoof, if everything is just a Saturday Night Live skit, then where does it end? And you mentioned it again in your lead-in, Vince Russo has been vilified in this industry to this day. Look at the feedback you guys got off the interview you had with David Arquette, and to me, that is so much more plausible, as implausible as it is. That was so much more plausible than having a 10-year-old kid come out of the audience and win the World Tag Team titles. You know, it's to me, just it bespeaks of all that is wrong with our business today. And this is whenever people hear me say in any interview, this is the difference of sports entertainment to professional wrestling. There's a very stark difference, black and white. And nothing against the kid. I'm happy that he lived a dream that he'll live the rest of his life and remember forever. But that's not what WrestleMania is supposed to be about. That's not what the product is supposed to be about. If you look at the NFL, when the Steelers are driving for a touchdown, it's not about, like, hey, let's stop here and bring some 10-year-old kid out of the audience to run the ball in so that everybody can pop that this 10-year-old kid wins the touchdown or gets the touchdown. And yet it just underscores to me just how far off the tracks our industry has gone. That after 18 years of vilification of Vince Russo for that decision, we now get this. And in light of, at the same time, we're getting the Invisible Man winning battle royals, and we get freeze frames, and we get pretend hand grenades, and we get all this crazy stuff that has nothing to do with wrestling. Again, if it's just, let's just be more outlandish than the others, then I'm going to get a pair of goggles that shoots laser beams out, and I'll just vaporize every opponent I ever have to wrestle and pull out a voodoo doll and stick them in the heart and pin them. I mean, where does it end? I mean, how absurd does it have to get before it's too absurd? I would say we're well beyond that level now.
Now I'm reading Sports Illustrated liked it. They thought Strowman and Nicholas were a great pairing. They both played their part well. I mean, those guys are idiots. Just such fake idiots that legit know nothing about wrestling. They should never cover wrestling. Quit the business, you idiots. My God. That was
Sports
so
Illustrated said that.
Yes. Yep.
Wow. I mean, I'm canceling my subscription to Sports Illustrated tomorrow.
I really want that, and they don't make it anymore. I want that flip football phone, but they don't make it anymore, so screw them.
Incredible. Hell, I'll just go buy the swimsuit edition when it comes out. Do they even still make that anymore?
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God. Really? In this PC world, they can still do a swimsuit? I mean, isn't that victimizing women and taking advantage and all these other horrible things? Jeez.
Can't believe they would do that.
Well, if they're putting over Strowman and a 10-year-old kid winning the belt, then fuck Sports Illustrated.